We live? Yeah, we are. People, deluded, I'm back again. Thank you very much for tuning back in each and every time. We're here on the early one. It's somewhat an emergency stream. You can see the two men in question behind me. You know, we'll get on to Stan Kroenke and allegedly the fact that he's put the club up for sale. Again, when topics like this rise up, you know, it's gonna get everybody talking. I see you lot in the comments. People saying, "Oh, is it clickbait? Is it not? Easy way of getting clicks, easy way of not." Why the man love shooting the messenger, bro? I woke up with every intention to only be live for Newcastle versus Arsenal. Make sure you're checking out the pin message because obviously it's a watch along stuff after that. And obviously my live reaction. I did not want to come up here and speak about this. And again, do not shoot the messenger. Again, I can only go on what the newspaper is saying. Again, I personally don't think Stan Kroenke will sell the club, but you can only go on what's been said. Please make sure you hit the like button. Just before I get into it, because I'll let you lot come in. What are you lot saying? Reese has said, I can't believe my eyes. Thanks for that. You know, in relation to Football Manager, my dude, I don't know who you're going to sign for your left back. You know, right now it's Stan Kroenke mood, my bro. RJ, provided it is right, it is music to my ears, but it is in the Daily Mail. Again, are they credible? Are they not? Who knows, people? You know, I don't think he's selling either, but we're allowed to dream, man. You know, like Beanie has said, only time will tell about this one, you know. Chris has said, I'll sell my house if Kroenke sells. How about you just give your yard to me, you know? You know, it's difficult getting on the housing ladder. I'll take one wherever I could get it. Big up yourself, V. You said, morning, peeps. Hey, DG, when you get here, just want to say supporting Arsenal has been ish. And this year, glad I found your content to brighten my outlook. Love for that, my guy. I'm not sure how my content actually does that because I just like to say what's right. Like I'll only listen. I've always give the example of if it's raining outside, I'm never gonna tell you lot it's sunny. If we're standing in the rain, but I might tell you lot, you know, there might be a rainbow a couple of days from now. You know, so I appreciate that as well, man. Mazda is just saying, people, deluded, I'm back again. You lot make me so conscious of the way I'm saying those words, people. I appreciate all of you lot. I had to block Agent Ghost. He's normally here all the time. Man said, easy way of getting clicks. Don't shoot the messenger, my guy. Do you think I want to be here at 10 a.m.? I just about finished my patty and cocoa bed to be here, rude boy. 134 of you locked in. Let's not waste any time because, you know, greetings to everybody. You know, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and of course, good night, depending on who you are, wherever you are. Let's get into it as well. Like I said, do not shoot the messenger. Will he, won't he? This is why fans keep doing what you're doing. International fans, keep doing what you're doing to get it talking on social media. Fans at the Emirates, keep doing what you're doing. Because as we know, to get Stan Kroenke out of this club, it's going to be a massive one. It's going to be a massive task. We're going to see 1 minute's for sale, then it's not for sale. This is, you know, do I think it's for sale right now? No, but based on this report, we might be moving in the right direction. It's a long fight. You know, it is a war. You know, we ain't won the battle yet, so let's all get prepared. But there might be a silver lining. As you lot can see here, allegedly, this is the Daily Mail, so take of it what you want. Like I said, do not shoot the messenger, but do make sure you're hitting the like button. There's 182 of you locked in. Arsenal are up for sale just days after Stan Kroenke insisted he will not entertain any offers for the club, with under fire owner quoting a 1.7 billion price to possible buyers 2 years ago. So only God knows what it is now. Again, that's you know, I'm sure if he's doubled, if he's offered an offer that is double his money, he has a decision to make. But I personally have said it once and I'll say it again. I think Stan Kroenke wants this as a family heirloom. I think he wants not only what he's been doing, but he wants his son to be able to use Arsenal as collateral. You know, his son doesn't care about football. I get the vibe that his son cares just a bit more than his son cares just a bit more than his father. But you know, your priorities are not with the Emirates. None of your priorities at the Emirates. We sold to the devil in 2007, and then what, in 2018 the devil got, you know, all the shares in this club, and we're being crippled. There's a listen, if Kroenke leaves, it doesn't mean we're all going to be wavy from the jump, but it's a start. Just to have an owner or owners or consortium that give a crap means we can move in the right direction. Means people below the manager, you know, the staff that's employed can, you know, have real pressure. Means the manager real pressure. It means we learn from hindsight and apply better foresight for scouting, for recruitment, for contracts, for new managers, succession planning. Because as I've said, owners, managers, whatever, this club should still have its principles, its morals, and its values, regardless of who's there. And we've been sleepwalking into the abyss. We've been moving away from that. But allegedly, we're up for offer. Again, this could just be was. This all could just be Nick Callan just trying to get some, you know, clicks on a Sunday and things like that. But as you can see here, people, Arsenal offer sale just days after Stan Kroenke insisted he would not entertain any offers for the club. Swedish billionaire Daniel Ek last week threw his hat into the ring and said he's preparing a bid for control of Arsenal. Now, what I would like is somebody, I'm not saying Daniel shouldn't be the gaffer, but I would like someone else to, if it's Dangote or whatever, someone else come into this occasion, people. The more interest, the more likely Stan Kroenke is to sell. Like I said, fans, keep up the pressure. You know, hopefully, Dan, you know, we all know Daniel done his little, you know, his stuff, his talk to Bloomberg. He's been very vocal and wanting to buy Arsenal for whatever reason. Pardon me. As you lot can see here, people, and the word on the international investment circuit is that Arsenal have effectively been on the market for about 2 years. Show us some hardcore evidence, because for 2 years, why has nobody raised that up until now? So, Nick, you might be having our fans along, because as you lot know, the minute they say Stan Kroenke is ready to sell, I want to speak about it with you guys. You lot want to speak about it. So again, I don't know this. I can only go off. I don't really believe it, because all we've heard is I'm not selling, I'm not selling, I'm not selling, I'm not selling, I'm not selling. Suddenly he is. You know, on one hand, you know, you're never going to, if you are going to sell, you're not exactly going to tell the mainstream you're selling. It weakens your negotiating position. But at the same time, my man has shown that he don't want to sell. We've been there with Usmanov. You know, Dangote has never quite put his money where his mouth is. It's been a lot of chat. We'll have to see where Kroenke lies with Daniel Ek if and when this offer officially does be put on the table. The Mail on Sunday understands it's less than 2 years since Kroenke's Denver-based holding company KSE received an approach from an international financial consortium. So there's been no offer for 2 years, people. So let's scroll down a bit. Rather than rebuff talks, as had previously been the case with Russian oligarch Usmanov and Nigerian billionaire Dangote, the interested party were told KSE would entertain bids in the region of 1.7 billion. So again, that's right up Daniel Ek Street. We heard he's got the finances. You know, obviously he's not going to put his own personal fortune into the club. So externally, whether he's leveraged fellow shareholders at Spotify or he's hollered other billionaires, the money's there in it. Allegedly, somehow it's there. Now, that's probably another problem in itself. Who owns what? Yeah, we see you, Daniel, but who's your partners in the background? But we can deal with that then. You know, when we spoke about the Super League and versus UEFA, we spoke about this UEFA as the devil we know and Super League as the devil we don't know. And I hear that. But I personally believe, you know, in hindsight, Daniel Ek could be on the same thing as Kroenke. I'm not saying that to keep him. I don't believe he is. And I'm not saying that to say keeping Kroenke. But I believe it's better the devil we don't know, because as you lot can see here, I don't know who the Black Donny is, but these two, you know, they're the devils right now. Kroenke, you don't care. You're passing this to your heirloom. This is some, you know, dynasty for you lot. The only people that are probably anybody connected with Arsenal, the only people that are full-heartedly happy is you lot, because you're using us as collateral. You know, one consistency has been Arsenal's money off the field, not necessarily success on it. So yeah, people, I'm not going to read over this again. As you lot can see, Kroenke previously said we're 100% committed to Arsenal and are not selling any stake in the club. We will not entertain any offers. Now, this could all just be some weird negotiating tactics from both Daniel and Kroenke, and they could always want to sell. I hope it's that in that they're telling us publicly we're not selling. Privately, they're like, crap, man, the fans hate us, man. Forget this. Let's get out. I hope that. I hope all of these people who don't give a crap about football go. Glazers, John Henry, you know, everybody who doesn't give a crap about football needs to keep it moving, really and truly. So I hope he is trying to sell. But again, we've been down this road before. And like I said, people, it's the wheels in motion. We're just getting started in this thing, in my opinion. We need to keep up the fight. I don't think he's going to go yet, but we need to keep it up. Again, with what happened against Villarreal, with where Arsenal has been generally, there's issues there. And you know, Mikel Arteta, you know, he said he don't fear the sack allegedly. He's spoken of his commitment to the Kroenkes and said if fans could speak to them, they would hear how much they care. And I think even that indirectly might let you know to a degree Arteta might be out of touch, because that's all fans wanted to hear, you know. If Kroenke, from the minute this guy took the job, really fulfilled his promises about Bayern Munich level, I know Glazide said it, and how they would speak to fans, there wouldn't be an issue. You know, you're never at games. You bring out the athletic think pieces about how you're at games and things. You don't care. And I don't think an owner has to be at games. I don't think he has to necessarily be interested in football. But make sure you damn well care. Like, again, as a business, if you just cared about business, I wouldn't have a problem. But this isn't how you run a business. Surely you want your business in any industry to be the industry standard, to be the envy of the world. It's not. You know, from a business point of view, you would get more money for in the Champions League. Instead, we're further away from the Champions League. We're joining these made-up Pro Evo in European leagues, European competitions. If we keep going the way we're going, in fact, we might not even qualify for them ones there. Which, again, I can't lie, I love you guys, so I'll always do watch-alongs, but I'm not trying to do press conference. What's it, UEFA press conference league or whatever it is? Yeah, I'm not trying to do that, people. 1.7 billion again. Isn't that around double what he paid? Wouldn't he make double his profit? Again, I think he would do that, but I personally feel he wants a lot more because he knows Arsenal, regardless of what man say, is a sleeping giant. The fact that it's in London is an attraction. You know, it does appear you can use this as other business collateral. You can use Arsenal as a many attractive proposition from football and other ways. I do think this club can return, but it needs a better owner. You know, as much as I criticize and praise Arteta where appropriate, and the same for Emre, and, you know, definitely didn't praise Glazides. I liked Mislintat. I thought Raul Sanye did a good and bad. These guys, whether you rate them or not, they're just pawns in this thing. How much can they really do their job without owner? As much as I get at Edu, yeah, and him being inexperienced and him needing to help Arteta, you can see the knock-on effect. If they're having to beg Kroenke to bring in Partey, how can Edu effectively do his job? There go. How can Arteta train up in pre-season and really do certain things beyond the positive and negatives? We can criticize them. It has a knock-on effect. So just if we have an owner who demands excellence, and I'm not talking excellence in that world-class players and things, just if you're a manager, you make sure you're managing to the best of your ability. Chief executive, best of your ability. Contract man, best of your ability. Because if we do that, it's calm. Yeah, we won the race with Balogun and Saka and Aubameyang, you know, 3 victories in terms of contracts. But we need to stop getting into the last years. You're looking at our squad right now, folks. You can see it. Whatever you think about, man, we heard last 2 years we're patterning. Bellerin, whatever you say, last 2 years. Xhaka is a key player last 2 years. Leno last 2 years. Again, there's a lot of uncertainty around the team. And I think when you've got proper people in place, there'll be less of this. You know, they'll make decisions. Instead, I see people who, I have a lot of praises and criticisms of Arteta, but essentially him and Edu are left to their own devices because the people above him don't have a Scooby-Doo and they're not really about. And the owner is a silent one. 504 of you locked in. Please make sure you hit the like button. So this is positive. But beyond this, we don't see anything. I ain't seen the Ornsteins, the Charles Watts, the James Benge, all of these guys. I haven't seen them offering their opinions, people. Big up Arteta, but I'm not going to speak about none of this because this is all irrelevant, people, in my opinion. And the one thing I would say with Kroenke, why the man they are lucky, because if we was allowed in the ground, you know, we can make it abundantly clear. You know, they probably think this is just how a small minority of Arsenal fans, how they feel. Again, we're doing what we can outside the stadium on Twitter and whatnot, but in the stadium it slaps different. And I feel sorry for the players when we are allowed back in because they're going to be collateral. Arteta the same, but in war there's casualties. I don't agree with it, but women, children, elderly, you know, innocent ones in war, they get hit up. And I'm not saying that's right. But my point is, if we look at it, the innocent parties are the players. The players only deserve to be criticized, and the manager from the sporting aspect. I don't think they deserve to be part of the booing and all of these things, but it's collateral. It is what it is, people. You know, we have to keep up the same energy. For us Arsenal fans, regardless, even if we win Europa League, we need to keep it going. I know it sounds a bit sour to say that, but we've always known this man needs to leave the club. But when we win a couple games, myself included, when we win a couple games and things, not that we shut up about it, but it's like, allow it. Now is the time for continuous energy. You know, all of us move together and get my man out the club. Apparently, we've been on the market for about 2 years. So if we have, you know, I don't know whether to believe or not believe that, because surely if we was on the market for 2 years, no matter how poor Arsenal is, if Usmanov was on it, Dangote, surely there's interest from other billionaires. Like I said, you know, even the other day I see one Turkish billionaire, he said he tried to buy Arsenal, but he was just in it for profit. So surely businessmen will make a profit. Again, I don't mind businessmen that want to use the club to make money and all these things. Business is business. Roman Abramovich does that, but he cares about Chelsea in his own sort of way. You know, if this Spotify Donny wants to come and he wants to do collaborative offers between Arsenal and Spotify, I don't give a shit, pardon me. As long as, well, definitely, you know, hit me up, Daniel. I need that, you know, free things, influencer and that. But I don't mind as long as he cares about the club, really and truly. And obviously, if Daniel was to take charge of the club, we'd see what he's about, because I do believe him. But on this other hand, it could be sweet nothings. You know, when you see where Arsenal have been, when you know where Arsenal can be and what Arsenal have been, and you arouse imagination with Invincibles and I'm an Arsenal fan. This is all fans want to hear, together with the 50+1 rule. This is all fans want to hear. But I just think, you know, if an owner is more proactive, you have half a chance. Because let's be real, somebody takes over Arsenal, it is a loser's game for at least the first year or two, because we you know, we're gonna have to fix up the squad. We're gonna have to try and rewrite the wrongs that we've done for years. Like you can see, in terms of the bad practices off the field, in terms of the bad practices on the field, as well as the personnel, we never got there overnight. It's not like we brought bare man in one window. We've been making terrible decisions. So by that logic, we're not going to turn away. And like with Arteta, what I would like to see with the club, and I always give the example, Rome wasn't built in a day, as you lot know, but when I walk past I need to see some scaffolding, you know, some materials being dropped. That's all us fans want, hope. I don't think any Arsenal fan thinks we have a divine right, definitely, to be in any Super League, any Champions League, fight for any title. But what we want to see is that, you know, for that honest man, woman, and young and child, when they're going to school or going to work or doing what they're doing from Monday to Friday, they want to be able to look at the weekend knowing that they're going to see a club that reflects them. They want to know that there's excitement, you know. We all have different roles that we're doing. We all struggle in life. We all go through whatever, but what the football team is the one constant. And I don't know about you lot, but I think the vast majority of us, we will do a lot to watch our football team. We will do a lot. I've lost jobs through my love for Arsenal. I can't sit here and cap. So we will do a lot. There's an emotional attachment, and it would be lovely to see that kind of justified, because, you know, you're not justifying our loyalty. You know, our football fan, being a football fan is a blind loyalty thing. We're all clicked up into this football team, into this football thing. You can go through life, you know, puberty, marriage, divorce, all this sort of thing, but your football club is going to be there. Now, granted, this isn't the football club or the Arsenal I run on. I grew up on, the only common thing I can see between the Arsenal I loved and the Arsenal of today is the name, people, because it don't reflect me. You know, we spoke about community, about winning through harmony. What harmony? We're not all singing from the same hymn sheets, fans, executives, players. We're not, because of many things. You know, we should just be talking about the sporting perspective, not this, but it is what it is in this regard. So if we really have been on the offer for 2 years, on one hand, you know, has Kroenke shown that he's not dealing with no one and he overpricing Arsenal? Everything has a price. Or is Arsenal just not as interesting to people as we thought it might have been? I don't know, people, you know. And also, again, I might be reading too much, but does Stan Kroenke want to sell all the shares? Or, like I said, the businessman in him, he might say, you know what, I'll sell you X amount of shares. I'll keep X amount of shares. I don't know, people. This is all where we're going. Please make sure you hit the like button. So only God knows. But the key points, as you lot can see, apparently Arsenal are up for sale, despite Stan Kroenke saying otherwise. We know Spotify billionaire Daniel X previously expressed an offer in us. Apparently we've been effectively up for sale for the last 2 years. Now, maybe we had an asking price there and there's an asking price here. I don't know, people, really and truly. Should we see if there's anything else in relation to this Kroenke business? It's probably all going to echo the same thoughts. And I bet the thingy, the players, the executives, even Arteta, I know you're between a rock and a hard place. I know you want Stan Kroenke gone. You know, you lot are saying you're having to beg for Thomas Partey, and then you lot are, you know, the script is being flipped out. Oh, he came through in our time of need. No, a real owner recognizes for a long time we've needed to fix the middle of the park. You activate Stan Kroenke, Thomas Partey's release clause early doors. You give him a chance to have preseason. Is it any coincidence that, you know, he's came in late and he's kind of struggled? It's no coincidence. You know, we made a big point out of creativity. Now with Odegaard and Smith Rowe, we've been focusing more on a natural 10. But I personally feel, you go back a summer, we needed an 8 and a 10, you know, or something. We needed Thomas Partey and a partner for him. You know, you lot can see dictating the tempo and stuff, and what Partey primarily is there to do. They're both important. A serious club buys them all. Instead, they you know, clearly I feel Stan Kroenke peed around over giving Edu and whoever needs finances. So we've tried to play a game of chicken with Atletico. It's got to the last day of the season and last day of pre-season of the transfer window, and we've done what we've needed to do, and it's all a euphoria. But we haven't stopped and gone, hang on, there's still question marks over right back, centre mid, this, that, and the other. And, you know, on one hand, as much as it gets me vexed, I always find myself going through flashbacks and sitting there and going, the definition of insanity is doing the same thing. I haven't seen anything to suggest we'll change. You know, Arsenal will always do this fake image stuff. We'll win a couple games against the top 6. You know, we'll go on maybe not so much this season, but we'll go on a little couple games unbeaten. The latest one, what was probably the end of last year, early this year. But when the going gets tough, when it's crunch time, when it's time to do the business, and the wall gets pulled from the fans' eyes, they see what go on for this football club. And you know, well, you know, as much as you can criticize Arteta and Emre the same, I said it then and I say it again, they're almost fighting against the grain, trying to install the proper values of this club. They can't do it alone. A manager is the most disposable thing in football. He's arguably less important than the players, because as much as these players need to go, realistically, what is it easier to do? Get rid of 25 players? I know I'm exaggerating a bit. Or get rid of MIKEL Arteta? And it's the culture of this club. And again, the culture isn't going to change unless my man at the top, and he doesn't give a crap. Like I said, Stan Kroenke probably doesn't even know where the Emirates is. I bet you he drives to Wembley or Tottenham Hotspur Stadium and that. He don't know about Emirates, you know. He probably get lost. He probably get lost in the home stadium he pays for. I bet he don't know his way around. Doesn't even know where his own boxes, you know, even though he owns all of them. I don't know, people. I don't know. Does he even know who MIKEL Arteta is? I don't know, people. But as you look and see, another article said where, you know, we're listening to offers. Now, all of these Daily Mails and all these things, 600 odd of you locked in. Please make sure that says 600 likes and you're checking out the pin message. It's watch along business after. Now, they all remix the same old story and things, but maybe there's legs to it, people. It's a bit conflicting and confusing for fans, because we hear this, but then we've seen actual articles that, well, not even articles, statements from KSE saying, I'm not selling, you know. So what do we go off? Do we go off the Daily Mail saying these things? Maybe if Ornstein and these lot in the Athletic say it, there might be some legs to it. Or do we go on face value what we've been told? Now, obviously, once again, he's not going to come up and tell us, yes, for sale and things like that. That weakens his negotiating position. And especially if you want to make money from this club and you really want to keep it moving, you're going to say, you know what, F the fans, I need to get paid, man. I'll go buy something else, people. So who knows, people? And as Daniel X said, he knows it's a waiting game and things like that. So we'll have to see, people. We'll have to see. Apparently, they were approached by a consortium in 2019, you know, a year from taking full ownership. So he could have made his profit and ran then, really and truly. And apparently a deal never came to pass, really and truly. So we'll have to see what happens in that regards, man. So for what it's worth, people, I can't see it happening, but we can dream in it. We can dream. There's 248 likes, 600 odd people viewed in. Please make sure you pattern that up. So in relation to Stake SK, Silent Stan, that's it, really and truly. But what are you guys saying, people, before we look at some other stuff? I hope you're doing well. Like my man said, make sure you hit the like button. Big up Peter. You know, we don't know if it's clickbait till we dig into it. So one day, man, come on. DG, you always bring joy to my day. I appreciate that. IT, no, you know, based on how you're always getting on to me, I don't know, broski. Big up the Twitch gang. It is massive news, but I can only take it at face value. As I said, official statements are saying we're not selling. Daily Mail is saying this and that, you know. On one hand, I can choose what I want to believe, because what we want to happen to our club, or face value. Now, once again, the one flip of that is obviously, if you're selling Arsenal Football Club, you're not blatantly going to come out and say, I'm selling the football club, are you? So we'll have to see, man. You know, we'll have to see. Is the source reliable? Like my man said, it's a trust me, bro thing. I hope the Daily Mail's got some legs to it. If not, we're going to get on to Callum, whoever wrote that article, man. We'll have to see. Big up all the Indian viewers, them. I appreciate all of you lot, man. I really do. I appreciate all the engagements. Early doors out here, man. And I know it's 10:30, 10:23 over here in the UK. God knows how much it is, what time it is around where you lot are, whether it's India and all of these things. I don't know, but it's crazy, man. Everyone listen to DG Spotify podcast. Let's fund the Ek Takeover. Deluded podcast Tuesdays and Fridays, people. Sometimes a Monday, typically a Monday. So make sure you're showing that some love. I appreciate that, man. Big up the Shepherd's Bush gang. I used to work in West London, so I know that neck of the woods decent, man. Wasn't the Daily Mail the one who broke Bala Gunman contract news? I'm not sure on that. I saw that via Twitter, but you know, if it is, then there might be some legs to it. We know Sammy Mokbel, who didn't write that article, David Ornstein. We know these guys are somewhat mouthpieces of the football club, and they're filtered and fed little bits of information in relation to what's happening. So I thought one of them would probably have said something, but who knows, man? So I on one hand, I don't want to dampen it, people, but you know, don't shoot the messenger. I'm never gonna cap to you lot, people. I just think the article saying it's not gonna make sense. And to be fair, if it's really been up for 2 years, for sale for 2 years, why are we only hearing about it now, folks? Surely we would have, again, not that we're anybody in this regards in terms of billionaires, but surely we would have heard. We've never ever heard Arsenal is up for sale. Stan Kroenke has a willingness to sell. He wants to sell, meetings with advisors. We've heard none of that. The one consistency has been, we're not selling. We're committed to Arsenal. trust the process, all of these sort of things, you know, and it kills me to say that to you lot, man. You know, I doubt it kills me to say that. But one thing that gives me hope, people, the more noise we make, the more this is a talking point, we keep going, sort of thing. And we know, like I keep saying, this is a war, people. This is an absolute war. We're not going to get there overnight. Like I said, the one benefit, not that Kroenke cares, but the one benefit we could probably do is no matter what happens, this team could win the treble and we still want Donny out. Now, I know in reality we'd probably be a bit kinder to him, but we need Donny to go. It's that simple, you know. I even saw on Twitter today, this trust the process thing seems like some propaganda piece that comes from everybody, man. Comes that is being spread at all of Stan Kroenke's all of his clubs, man. I'm seeing NFL talk about trusting process. You know, it's mad. 223 in the US. I appreciate that. Like Zach has said, make sure you're hitting that like button. I do agree the Daily Mail are absolute clowns, my guy. Big up DG, some needed content on my overtime shift. I shout to you on a Sunday getting your goal on my guy. I appreciate that, man. I love DG, but thumbs down for clickbait. I'm not clickbaiting. That's literally this. You know, you're allowed to dislike. You know, you're a bit of a hater, you know. But it is what it is, man. Like, what could I say? I might say clickbait. I haven't lied to you, you know. Don't shoot the messenger. You're allowed to dislike and not like, but you know, I find that a bit bad, man. And it is what it is, man. It is what it is, bro. A man said, why is the title clickbait? Apparently he's put the club up for sale. Like, we're just going to what said, my guy. Once again, don't shoot the messenger. You know, you're allowed to dislike what you want, but, you know, we're allowed to sell players. And I think you're blocked from the DG community for that hating shit, man. You know, shout out to your mummy, though. Anyways, moving forward. Bro, Elliot, it's not reliable, bro. You know, it's not. I have no motivation in this league anymore. Game day means nothing right now. Bro, for me, I just hope to see Martinelli, little Balogun opportunity there. I'm probably not going to see any of this, but we can try, man. We can try, man. People who say that Kroenke won't sell just because he said so really don't know how business and valuations work. On one hand, I don't think he's going to sell because that's all he said, and his actions have reflected that. But on the other hand, there's always a price, and I agree with you. You know, man, I'm not going to come out and say I'm selling. You know, Daniel has signaled his intention to buy this club. Kroenke saying I want to sell this club, it weakens it. You know, he might say, hold on, you want to sell it? You're not getting 2 billion. You take this 1.7 or whatever. I don't know, people, but regardless, we move, man. I read it in the Express, so there must be something. I assume you're saying, Paul, bro. I agree with you, but at the same hand, you know, you know how it gets with the media. You know, everyone just remixing the same stories. Adding the only thing that's changing in these articles is the website it's on and the name. So I don't know, man. Big up the South Australian ones. We've got 6:20 a.m. in Brazil. Hey, Samba boys, my people, them. You know, big up DG watching at 4 a.m. Worth it, G. I appreciate you lot, man. I appreciate you lot. Who is this kid? The kid that's in your mama's guts, man. You baby face killer, little D and all them things. Don't test me on an early Sunday, my guy. I'm ready for all the smoky settings. Don't do that, man. Robbie said one of the legends involved are going to come out public about the takeover this weekend. Omri is on Monday Night Football. Broski, I hope so. Don Robbie, if you're out there, don't cap to us, my guy. Does Don Robbie know something? You know, if Don Robbie knows something and he's a part of the, you know what, Robbie's probably part of the investment consortium. You know, AFT, you're going to see AFTV and Arsenal official memberships and that, you know. You're going to see Turkish in the boardroom. Hopefully, all I'm saying, Robbie, if you're out there, you know I need a little job with Mertesacker Haylen business. That's all I'm asking for, big man. You'd never cut it as a billionaire if you sold just because you made some profit. Fair play. That as well. DG podcast getting played in the stadium pre-match after the takeover. You know, at the Emirates when it's countdown, all you hear is people. Hey, you can imagine it, man. I love the humor you lot have, man. I appreciate all the engagement levels. I see Liam Bailey, big up the members, them. I appreciate that super chat, my dude. Like he said, slap the like button. The value of Arsenal is increasing every year for Kroenke, and the value of debt as Arsenal's security is increasing every year. So again, it makes it a political one. Kroenke has put a lot of money into Arsenal behind the scenes over the years. Surely he'd want at least 2.5 billion to consider selling. I would have thought, I don't know for 2.5, but I would have thought just over 2. Not that I am a finance man or whatever, but like you said, it's still an asset. You know, in that he's not put his funds in, but he's put his funds in. So surely I do think 1.7 billion is a bit cheap, and that kind of makes me doubt the story a bit more. But hopefully, dude, hopefully, you know, I hope he's so fed up he just wants to keep it moving. That one there is probably a myth though. We're at 342 likes. Keep running that one there up, people. There is 730 of you in here, people. And like I said, it's 10:30 a.m. I appreciate that, man. I'm reading this all over the place, DG. And again, you know, as you know, I guarantee you, look, I beg you, look, that out there, yeah. Refresh the pages and keep refreshing the pages over the next hour, because I only saw the Daily Mail. That's why I used them. Now, when I refreshed it, I showed you the Daily Mirror, you know, so everybody's remixing it until I don't know who's credible. But and for me, unless I see a Charles Watts, a David Ornstein, a James Bainge, you know, Mr. Arsenic as well. Apparently, he's making a comeback on Twitter. Man, I have to question a lot of these things. Dan Kroenke owns all of them, broski. Everything is up for sale, just the right amount of money. Exactly, man. And that's a good point, Harvey. I didn't Reese Harvey. I didn't consider that. All the big journalists are off social media until Monday, 11:59. So none of them would report it at the moment. That's some, you know, big up Harvey, you know, big up Reese Harvey. That's something that went over my head, and that's something I've completely forgotten about. Maybe it's because I'm not really a big fan of this, man. We've got Poland in the building. Big up Deluded. This is good news for us fans watching from Poland. Hey, Poland, UK, US, Brazil, Australia. Big up everybody in all these countries, and it's good news for Gooners all over. But like I said, don't let this arouse your imagination. Let's look at the facts. Until I see offers put on the table, yellow bar news on Sky Sports, it's make what you wish. Graham, I knew you'd be. He said maybe X offer is too good to refuse in circumstances. If it goes through, does Kroenke does Ek have the finances to fund the revival? Well, you'd imagine he's no idiot. He knows what's probably required to take Arsenal to the next level. He probably sees the financial problems. He probably knows that he can't fund it himself, sort of thing. So on that, you'd imagine yes, but until he was and until in theory, if he did take the role, we wouldn't know, man. Man said to replace Clark. Oh, you have to speak to someone, did it, man? You know, come on, man. 757 odd in the building. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. How long you gonna be live for? How long's a piece of string, man? I'm live about 3 times today. This was an emergency stream. It's watch along business later, people. I'm gonna drop the link in the comments and I'm gonna cheekily plug it. You know, it's Newcastle versus Arsenal later, man. That was all I was planning to be live for, you know, but we needed to do what we needed to do. So how long's a piece of string, my guy? You know, it is what it is. John Jones, none of that sort of stuff. You know, let's keep it football. Moderators, anyone getting at anyone's personal appearance, please pattern that up. We're not here to do the hating thing. We're not here to do none of that, man. We're here to show love and speak about football. You're lit, bro. You know, some people say I'm lit. Some people say I'm not. You know, football's a funny old game of opinions, man. Have you seen the BISSOUMA news? Yeah, I have, and it's actually up there on my screen. We'll cover that. You know, I would have thought that was a time filler. You know, is what it is. So many trolls helping your channel grow, bro. You know, man are allowed to. You see my thing, yeah. People are allowed to not like, man. People are allowed to say I'm this. I'm not above criticism. I stand here and I praise and critique footballers. So I can't, and journalists and everything. So how can I be above it? But it's when, you know, my pet peeves is when somebody has said something I didn't say. And when managers hating, broski. Like, man's out here with it. Man's really said he's going to hit the dislike. But then when I go through my comments, you're sucking my ass, pardon me, in half the comments. Oh, deluded this, that, and the other. That's one thing I find weird about YouTube, bro. Man are weird in this thing. Man will love you, then hate you, then love you again. That's why I love the majority of you lot, but your opinions, as much as they mean everything to me, they mean nothing to man, bro. Like, it's a weird one, man. It's a weird one, man. A man said you should rename to Funny Gooner DG. You make me crack up sometimes. I don't know if I'm funny, but it is what it is. DG has a thing for haters' mums, broski, because that's the way to hit up guys, broski. Why go for girls? You could go for mums, bro. I could try, you know, slip there, you know, in people's mothers. What can you say, bro? Like, what can I say, man? I like the older women, man. Hey. Oh, you gotta blow a kiss, man. You gotta blow a kiss, man. You gotta blow a kiss, because that's the wickedest thing. I know some people just hate, man, for the sake of hating, man. Like, there's no need. Like, there's no need. No need at all. But yeah, we move, man. You tried Magnum for the first time. Nasty. You clearly have shit taste, John. But big up you. You know, big up. Mix it with something, man. DG, would you take getting knocked out of Europa if it meant Kroenke left? Nope. You know, I get the logic behind it. I'd be for it, but I never want my team to. I want to win trophies. I never want my team to get smacked up. And you know, I'm gonna be vexed about losing. I hear the logic, but I'm not on it, man. Shout out all the Jamaican tugs as well. 4:30 a.m. over them sides is stupid o'clock everywhere. I appreciate that. I hope it's true as well, my guy. But who knows, man? Another super chat, and I'm very appreciative of it. D, what you saying? I hope they ain't toying with us like they used to toy with the Higuain transfer. Broski, probably are, you know. Probably are, but man can hope. That's why I said, you lot don't get yourself so excited of what you want to see that it takes from reality. Reality is he's still the owner. Reality is he said he's not selling. But like I always tell you, like you lot known, we keep going. It's a war, people. You know, we're not going to get there overnight. We might not even get there a year from now. It might even take 2 years for this man to leave the club. But we need to recognize that, and we need to give it all we have. We need to give it all we have. You know, I want Usmanov instead. I want anybody, man. I want anybody who wants to make something happen, man. Is it a bad idea to protest outside the stadium this Thursday, as it could be a big distraction for the team ahead of a massive game? It could be a distraction. It could be an untalking point. In an ideal world, you wouldn't want it to be a thing. But reality is, if you're Mikel Arteta and the players, as much as I have sympathy for them, they should be oblivious to it. Their job is on the football field. Their job is just to deal with things from a footballing perspective and have their head in the right game. After the game, you know, if you spoke about it, you know, you do what you need to do. But your job is just on Villarreal. It's not on fans moaning about Kroenke or this, that, and the third, you know. There's a lot of pressure on you lot. So rather than rise to the pressure, find that headspace and just focus on that 90 minutes. You focus on that 90 minutes, that will happen, man. I don't know if you're talking about me. I didn't say only Arsenal would make a loss. I just said anyone that buys this club has to recognize that Arsenal is going to be a losing game for at least a couple of years. So they're going to have to recognize it. So if that makes me, I don't actually think you're talking about me. To be fair with you, like I said, in fact, I don't think you are. So I'll put the gun away, you know, I'll cock it back still. But man, them in the chat, respectful, please. Please be respectful. Please be respectful, man. There's no need for that, man. There's no need for that. You know, peace and love. It's a Sunday. It's the Lord's Day, man. Come on, man. You don't need to do all of that on a Sunday, broskies. There's no need. There's no need. There's no need. What else are you lot saying in the comments, man? I hope you're well as well. P, I ain't seen you for a minute. Somali speakers, I ain't seen you for a hot sec, man. I haven't seen you for a sec, man. I appreciate you lot. Big up everybody locked in, man. Let's get into the BISSOUMA one in a second. Where are we at in terms of likes? 414. We're moving brazy, people. Let's get that to 500. Hey, big up everyone who hit the like button. Shout out to the dislikers as well, man, because you know, to be loved, to be hated, just to be spoken about is lovely. They hate Money Mayweather, but they can't deny that he's greatness. They can't deny that I'm great. They can say this, that, and the other, but they can't deny that I'm a handsome, sexy, young chocolate darling. And I know football, and I got the DG Nation. So if you want to hit the dislike, if it means that to you, do what you want to do, man. Just as long as you know your baby mamas, girlfriends, mothers, even grandmas, even though I don't play that way, like the kids, you know. It is what it is, people. I hope you're all doing well and safe. Morning streams are lit. I appreciate that. Big up Stephen Hill in the building. Do you think our wide players are dribbling a lot less with the ball and are more focused on finding passive avenues in regards to tactics? I would say in the final third, we appear a bit rigid. We appear a bit like we're lacking ideas and, you know, style of play, patterns of play, all of these things. It's muscle memory. So I don't think we're doing the level stuff to that, man. That's the answer to you lot, man. Is what it is. Bro, we don't care about dislikes, man. We don't care about dislikes. I appreciate 50 in the building. What have you said? I don't like Kroenke, but I prefer silent partner rather than the. Have you said Abramovich? I'm not too sure, but I'm not too sure I agree with that. I would, in an ideal world, I would like not Stan Kroenke, but I like the, in theory, the hands-off approach. That's one thing I'll give him. I like the, in theory, you know, I'm the owner, you're the manager. I install people that make the club run. It is what it is. I like that. You don't want a manager who's too hands off like him. You don't want a manager who's too hands on. You know, you don't want them, you know, you need to, I mean, an owner. So I don't mind it. But at least with Abramovich, he cares, bro. Whatever you say about Chelsea, they don't lie down for too long. Yeah, they've had where they finished 7th, 8th, and then won the league after. They don't lie down for too long. He don't accept it. And I would prefer a manager like that because it feels somewhat like a fan, really and truly, you know. But that's just me. If anyone else feels different, they're allowed to feel that way, man. I don't think changing the owners is the answer. All billionaires are in it for their own interests. Fans need some power at board level, or the German model. Well, fans do have, you know, fans do have power at board level in Germany, but they're still thingies. And you know, billionaires can, every business is about their own interests, you know, every businessman has their own interest. David Dean was about his own interest, but you can care about multiple things. I definitely think changing the owners is an answer. We've had different players, we've had different managers, we've had different whole lot of stuff, man. I don't think you can call anything crap with a name like that, you know. Hardly a shiner, are you, man? You're moving like one, you look like one Conference League thing. You mad? Moving like the Scalacci, you're a Scalacci level like that, man. If I was in a club, there's no way you're getting free juice. If I was a club owner, there's no way you're getting in. Like, big up to everyone that's locked in. Let me stop with all of that, man. Let me stop with all of that, man. Let me stop with all of that. What have you said? Footballers shouldn't be distracted by outside influence. Channel that energy as support, like if we were in the stadium. Facts, bro. You need to be able to air that. I know it's easier said than done, but you need to be able to air that. You need to be able to air that. Deluded is above the haters. Never seen someone take hate as well as you, bro. It's not even that, like, you know, it comes and goes. The people that hate me, they love man. Like, they love man, really. Like, you could, anyone that dedicates time to hating and commenting and bare energy, they love you, really. They love you, really. They're just sour about something, man. I know you love me, really. To all the haters, I know you love, man. I know you love, man. I know you love, man. Bro, man said Kroenke Roman, bro. He's bugging out, bro. Bugging out. Bugging out, bro. Yo, love the live videos, bro. They've been fire recently. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Bro, bro, it's a Sunday. Anyone that's coming for me, bro, the machine is there. Like, allow me, bro. Allow me. Because I'm a good guy, but I'm a fucked guy as well, you know. Like, come on. I told you, look, when you was a small brother behind in puberty in secondary school, you had to be sharp with it. You had to be sharp with it, man. You had to be sharp with it. How I've came in alive and I hear conference thing, I can't stop laughing. Oh, I mean, the Daily Mail have said it, so make of that what you will. Some people would choose to believe it, certain people would choose not to believe it, you know, is where it is. I hope Martinelli does grab a brace. I really do. Finally catch a live. Better late than never. Better late than never. Yo, DG, you should do one of those outside videos again. What are you saying, P? Nostalgia. Boy, I don't know, broski. You know, I'm not really trying to be outside unnecessarily with the camera and that ever again, really and truly. I know you want to see the pigeons and that, but it is where it is in that regards, man. Should we sit on a serious note? We're 42 minutes and 50 seconds in. Let's get into this BISSOUMA one. Now, for BISSOUMA, I don't want to go over the same things because we know he's a bloody good footballer. We know we've been linked with him before. We know Liverpool have been on him. All these other teams are on him. We know for me, I would love BISSOUMA. It's an option to play ahead of Partey. It's an option to play instead of Partey. It's an option to play with Partey. We need options in midfield for me. You know, you need 2 6s. You need an 8. You need different things. We don't have that. The only midfielder I think is actual, like pure centre mid at this moment in time. I think Smith Rowe can do it. Odegaard isn't our player. It's only Thomas Partey. We don't have that. And, you know, I think there's many ways of defending. I think if we had, you know, defending, there's the art of defending, tackling, being spot on and stuff. But I just feel when you have the ball, when you control possession, that's a form of defending as well, you know, and we don't have that. Also, on top of that, we don't have players who seek the ball too many times in our midfield. So I do think we need that, man. I do think Arsenal fans are doing what we do in that when we're linked with when we're linked with BISSOUMA, Buendia. It's like we start moving like these are the only footballers in the world. We start acting like they're better than what they are. And I'm not saying Basuma's a bloody good footballer. I'm just saying we make man out to be the Messiah, and then we act shocked when they move a bit booky and things like that. So I'm all on the Basuma thing, man. I want Basuma. I like Basuma. You know, obviously he ties into what we've been doing. There's resale value there. But again, we've been linked with him. You know, I don't know Brighton's plans for him. And if I'm Brighton, I'm not trying to let him or Lamptey go easily because of, you know, they make your team better. But we'll have to see, people. If I share my screen with you guys, you know, Arsenal are increasingly confident of winning the Basuma race despite 3 others interested. Now, if Basuma's offered Champions League, something could happen. He's got 2 years left on his contract. So if they don't want to let him go on a cut price deal, it makes sense to sell the 24-year-old now. And obviously 24 years of age, played in the Premier League before. I don't like to say Premier League proven because Williams Premier League proven, but you get it, people. It offers something, complements the sides well, and all of those sort of things. And he's actually a good player, so it is what it is. But apparently Arsenal are confident of securing a 30 million deal for Basuma. Now, does that mean you're now going to get Odegaard on loan, or are you going to try get him permanently, or can you go for another target? Because again, you know, you should be able to have 30 for him and allegedly up to 30 for Odegaard based on reports we have read. But again, we all know Arsenal's financial structure. So I'm all for this. But as you lot see, Everton, West Ham and Spurs have all made inquiries, but it appears Arsenal are in pole position to win the scrap. Apparently, Mikel Arteta is a huge admirer and believes his box-to-box energy was he provides would make him the ideal partner for Thomas Partey. They're now speaking about us losing in the first leg of the Europa League. Apparently, but even if the Spaniard was to get the bullet over the summer, Arsenal still want Bissouma following his superb season on the South Coast. So if Arteta was to get sacked, we would get him. And to be fair to him, in 2018, while we was getting taken over by Kroenke, Brighton were making moves and they signed him for 15. 2 years left on his deal. Little profit there. Why not? If we can get decent fees for a Guendouzi, potentially Joe Willock, and the obvious players that need to be sold or have been linked with moves away, you know, Bissouma kind of pays for himself. If you can spend 30 million on Bissouma, get Odegaard on another year loan, if not permanently, then away from needing a right back and things like that, we can work with it. We can work with it. It won't take us to where we need to get to overnight, but we can work with it. So I'm all for Bissouma. But me, you, I'm sure you lot's nans, people in the barbershop, we've all spoken about Bissouma and how much we want him at lengths, people. So I'm not going over the same things personally because we've been down there. But that's that in Bissouma. All right, you lot, make sure you're Spotify and Relly Ren's business, one of the best rappers in the TIG. He said, hella views this morning, DG going brazy. Trust me. What are you saying? I'm not at the game for once. I'm not on the hooligan thing on Sunday League. I know they miss me. I ain't going to name that team's name, but we know they miss the real captain, you know. Can't wait to play against you, man, and say, I am the captain, you know. Shout out to Toby, Presley, you know, James, the real teammates and that, Disa and that. Forget all the message to the coaching staff, to the owners, to the management. In fact, my management's probably watching, but you know what I would really, I'm with you almost every day. You know what I want to say to them, innit? You know? A man there claim they're from Everton. No one from Everton's even in the team, so I'm frauds. But let me lie, I know management's gonna message me and stuff, so let me cry out about them things. I see we've got a new channel member. Big up Dan, I appreciate that. Mr. Abler's in the building, and he's also dropped a welcome in. What's you lot's feelings in Bissouma, people? Bissouma would be great, but it means nothing if we don't bring Odegaard back and sign Andre Silva, Max Aaron's another centre back, and a right-sided centre half. I hear you, my guy. I disagree to a slight degree, but I hear you. I'm not sure for the Andre Silva thing, but in relation to a right back, couple of midfielders, and a centre half, I would arguably say a left-sided centre half, you know, bro. I just think we need another centre half. But you see my thing. If we could find a competent defender who's right-footed, I want a left-sided one as well for its worth. But if we could find a right footer who's competent on either side, that's a partner for Saliba. That's a partner for Gabriel, because right now, assuming David Luiz leaves, you know, long term, we want it to be Saliba and Gabriel, and I want them to get game time. But we need to remember they're going to learn, so they're going to have great games. They're going to learn some lessons. We've seen Gabriel's rough edges. We've also seen Saliba's at knee. So even if you haven't, I've been reporting on such. There's going to be games where they're going to need saving for themselves. So at least currently, you know, Saliba with Marie, that's an experienced sort of partnership. Is it levels? I don't know. Gabriel, who is his partner? Is it Holding right now? That's a bit hit and miss. So I hear you, my guy. I hear you. I think we do need a centre half. I think we do, man. You know. Odegaard overrated. I think that's harsh. Why is your channel called Deluded Gooner if you're not deluded, bro? You know, if I had a pound for every time that was said or appropriate name, I'd be able to buy the Emirates and it would say Deluded. It would have Deluded's face right there with Kroenke. But we go again. I love for the praise, my dude. Where we at in terms of likes? 493, ever closer to 5 mils, people. 500. We keep moving, man. DG, favorite part of Bissouma's game? Obviously the fact that he likes to win the ball, really. And I think he's a better passer than giving credit for. I think he's a bit of credit for. Sometimes I think he gets caught in possession. He's on that party sort of stuff at times. But I would just say just being able to do your job. His positioning is good. Just you know yourself, bro. Like, we don't have players that are competent. Like, that's, you know, Bissouma's one of them, man. I don't need to talk about, like, because you're doing your job. That's all I want to get at. Fekir or Odegaard, I'm on either one, really. You know, whatever ones, just get something in, man. We ain't getting Odegaard, but I think Smith Rowe's an Arsenal boy, so send Odegaard back and try for Bissouma. I hear you, Neil, but like we've seen, Smith Rowe gets injured. What we saying in terms of that creativity? I hear you, but I think we need a next man, or we need to make someone else able to do that. Because one thing I don't like about Arsenal, we've gone from when we had bare creative man. Remember the point, Neil, where we used to force cams into the wide areas. We used to force it, sort of thing, to that standard. Now it's all on everyone. And I've seen us over rely on Ozil, over rely on Santi. You know, even when Odegaard, Smith Rowe, and that have played, they've had to drop deep because our midfielders can't pass them the ball. I think we need creativity all round. I'm on, you know, I think we need an 8. I'm on the 8 or the 10. I would like an 8 who can dictate the tempo of the game and all of that sort of stuff, because that's creative to me. It doesn't necessarily have to be a 10. So I hear you, but we're back to square one. It's a bit like Partey, and obviously without knowing Torreira's business last season, that's why I wasn't a fan of selling Torreira or not bringing in another number 6, because if Partey gets injured, we're back to square one. And as much as I think fans need to understand it's a squad game, there are people saying don't bring in Odegaard because of Smith Rowe. And like you've seen, there's been games we played them both, played one, both have been injured. It's a bit like the striker business at the moment, man. You know, I know Balogun isn't playing and Martinelli won't start, but two problems to our key sort of strikers. And people need to understand, not saying you, Neil, because you're a real footballing man. People need to understand it's a squad game, it's squad business, you know, and we've got a, well, I think we have a small squad, because out of that 25-man squad, there's only certain men that are classed as certified, if that makes sense. It weren't due to that. I would love to say that, K, but my channel was just because in school, I was on the Xbox Live and I was beating someone at FIFA and they called me a deluded gooner. And when I was making a YouTube account, that was it, really, you know. Would have just called myself CJ the Gooner or CJ normally, use my name and that, man. You know, striker, I hear you, Ack, but I think the striker thing, I think it's a priority, because I don't think Arteta is, from what I see as a fan, I don't think you're convinced of Martinelli through the middle. You're clearly not convinced of Eddie and Nketiah. Balogun's learning, but you ain't giving him a chance. Aubameyang and Lacazette, I don't think he's convinced. So I think he would like a striker. But it's like the house, you know. I think in terms of the attacking options, I'm not saying it's perfect, but when you look over the whole squad, I would like to see more surgery in the middle of the park, a right back and centre half, like you said. I think we could, if we fixed up the other areas, we might be able to get away for another season with the Lacazettes, Aubameyangs, assuming we get the real Aubameyang back and things like that. For me, we shouldn't prioritize Bissouma. We need a goal scoring midfielder. We only have 2 goals from midfield this season. James, facts. You know, that's a problem for me. We don't dictate the tempo. We're not solid defensively. We're not creating or scoring goals from midfield, and we ain't done that on the best of days. So what is our midfield about? And, you know, I cut Arteta some slack because, you know, we all know how the problems in terms of getting players in. But if I'm harsh, Arteta was a midfielder and there's bare question marks over midfield. But I think they're both priorities. It's like what I was saying earlier about, if you spoke about the number 8 or the goal scoring midfielder you're talking about and the 6 with Thomas Partey, a lot of fans were like myself, like you, like we need both. Certain were either or, and nobody's wrong. There's all legs to it, but you need both, in my opinion. You need both. You know, you can't play a PlayStation without a pad, you know, do you get? Or a game. You need it all, really and truly. There's no either or sort of thing. So I hear you lot, man. I hear you lot, man. I hear you lot. No, it's not for real. You're living in a dream, broski. Love for that. Listen, man, you do your job properly and you should be proud. Big up to you, Deluded Goon. I appreciate that. And you see, stuff like that is why the man them have to keep going. I can't let it down, man. I can't let it down. You know, you get a lot of hate, but the people them love me, man. Alvin has said, do you think we have to get a striker this window? If so, who do you have your eye on? I wouldn't say it's a priority, but I think it's something in the back of Arteta's mind, because I don't think he's convinced. I think he likes what Lacazette can do. I don't think he's convinced over the man wholeheartedly. The same goes for Aubameyang. Again, I would like to see. He said Martinelli's a striker, but he ain't playing him. Balogun's not getting them opportunities there right now. So I can only go on what I'm saying as a fan. I think he wants a striker. Broski, Welbeck was moving mad yesterday. Lovely to see Welbeck in goal scoring form for Brighton yet again, man. You know, it's facts, man. What have you said? Fekir or Buendia? For me, Odegaard not aggressive enough. Broski, I'm so desperate for creativity. I take all of them. I'm all of equal things to them. I think they can all be used differently. Buendia is an interesting one, car. I think he can be used off the flanks as well as an inverted sort of creative man. Fekir is obviously, listen, I love the French players and I've been on to Fekir for a while, man. I would like Sabitzer, but them rumors have gone kind of quiet. I think Sabitzer is one of those players. He's not name brand. I like his versatility. I like his ability to play in roles. Now, if I go off the game, was it United? Him and Upamecano didn't have the best of games, but yeah, bro, Buendia is sick. The problem is, if you're Norwich, you're saying to Buendia, bro, why are you going Arsenal? You know, I told you we get promoted. You bad up the league like how you've been doing in the Championship. City might come in. Liverpool might come in. Arsenal might come back in, but why are you going to go Arsenal? You know, that's probably what they're saying. And they've got no need to sell him, really. Now, they've said that they're selling my man, what's his name? Max Aarons. So, I don't know, man. Dominic has said, good morning, DG. I've been missing and stuff, but busy with work. Broski, do what you need to do to advance your life, man. I'm always going to be here. YouTube don't die, man. It is what it is. I like Joe Willock. You know, I want Joe Willock to come back, but I'm not going to lie. If we're going to sell him for 20, 30 million and we're serious, that's going to get put towards grabbing Buendia, Odegaard, all these sort of guys, even a BISSOUMA, then I think it's a necessary evil, if I'm completely honest. You know, only if we're going to do stuff like that. Not if we're going to sell, man, and then come the end of the window, we're like, oh, what are we doing? And all of that. Like, I'm not on all of the Mickey Mouse sort of thing. 519 likes. Let's keep running it up, people. I appreciate everybody that's locked in, people. I really appreciate it. The engagement is crazy. Everything's going well. Moderators, Twitch gang as well. I see you lot. Moderators, please don't think for any stretch of the imagination that I don't appreciate your hard work and I don't see what you're doing. You know, I can't fight all the twats by myself, so I love to see you lot are sweeping up. You know, proper defensive display from us. We do need a backup for Tierney, as you lot can see, or even someone that can compete with Tierney. Bro, to be fair, we're crushing them. 12 dislikes compared to 500 odd. We're winning the war, man. They're just unhappy they couldn't get in the club. You know, they're unhappy, man. I wouldn't mind Julian Brandt. Bro, Miguel Aziz is very much an Arsenal player. He's going to need time to develop, but he's a typical Arsenal midfielder. Is the best compliment I could give to him, man. Come on, my dude. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Really appreciate that. You lot are gassing me, man. This is why I come in. Are you in and out? In, out, shake it all about. I'm neither or, man. I see a lot of things I can be peed off about Arteta about. There's a lot of things I feel sorry for him, man. And at the same time, I actually do have faith in Arteta. It's just a bit of blind faith because I'm not really seeing anything at the moment and things like that. But it is where it is, man. We've got South Africa in the building as well. Bro, you'd have to ask the coaches. I don't know, but I think Charlie Patino's a very talented player and he's going straight to the top. You know, he's been unfortunate to be injured. A very nice individual as well as being a footballer. He's a very nice person. Shout out to Charlie Patino and for being one of the first, all them Arsenal young players, man, because, you know, you've seen the content last summer. Hopefully we can get that one going again with some of them. You know, big up everybody. You know, them Arsenal players and their family members are very nice as well. You know, that's one reason I keep doing this as well, because of the nice reaction I get from everyone, including some people in the footballing world, man. It really means a lot. People don't realize there was no buyers recently for real till now. So let's see what happens. I'm not too sure. People keep saying, seen you on BBC News yesterday, big up. Now, can you let me know, is that the same sort of thing where we was talking about the Super League, or is that a next thing? Adam, please let me know. We've got some weird you out here telling me about going to the toilet, so he's coming out of this. Would you offer Luiz a new contract if he's going to be like, how do I make it make sense? If he's just gonna be and like for the squad, for the young G's and all of that, yeah. But for me, when we've got people like Luiz, it's like we keep them in a position of importance. It's like he should not be a regular starter. We need a next man. We overworked Koscielny and over relied on Koscielny, really and truly. And that's what we're doing with Aubameyang, or have done. You know, the minute Aubameyang signed a new deal, we say, all right, cool, 2-3 years, you're the guy, but we're looking for a striker. You didn't have to buy one last year. I don't even think you have to buy one this year. But you need to know what striker we're going for, man. You know, is what is. Yeah, if he's on that sort of stuff, you know, voice in the change rooms and all of that, I appreciate that, man. Hey, Finsbury Park, Gooner in Singapore. Big up all the Singapore viewers as well. / Finsbury Park. We got some local tugs. Love for that, Adam. So it's the same thing. I appreciate BBC for letting that one keep circulating, man. Do you think Arteta shouldn't be sacked if we don't win Europa League? Yes and no. On one hand, based on how the season's gone, the FA Cup, the Premier League, Europa League, you have to be sacked based on it with logic. But I don't necessarily think that correlates to him being sacked. I don't think he will be sacked. Like I said, I somewhat still believe in Arteta. I've lost a lot of faith, but I somewhat still believe in him. But at the same time, I'm not. No divine loyalty to Arteta. No divine loyalty to definitely the man over there. No divine loyalty to these players. You know, if Arteta leaves, I'm not gonna cry. If he stays, I'm gonna stick with him, sort of thing. But I'm vexed at him, and I just feel, for me, anyways, I just feel it's illegal to criticize Arteta. It's like, through me, for what the record is, if you want him gone, if you want him to stay, you're allowed to say that. But why do man like to force their opinions down each other? Pause. For me, with Arteta, I don't know if he's the man. You know, I think he's going to be a good manager. Right now, I'm not seeing anything to suggest it's going to happen at Arsenal. But, you know, I wasn't saying that a few months ago and things could change, man, really. And I still think he's crippled by what's going on, man. Proper football chat. I appreciate that. 15 more likes till 600. We're moving mad. Big up the Twitch gang. What do you think of Reece Nelson? I rate him. Big up the content. I like Reece Nelson. I would like to see him get some opportunities. But for me personally, my dude, I think for him, he's got to get out of this situation and go elsewhere, because you're not playing. You need to develop, really and truly. I would like to see him go out on loan or play. I don't want to give up on him yet, but I think he's going to get sold, or he should be getting sold. He should be looking to leave, because what's going on, man? Really and truly. I agree but disagree, because if we look at it, you know, he has shown he can have systems. He has shown he can go against big teams. So I do think Arteta's been crippled by COVID, all the off-field business, but I think it's an excuse. Look at the hours you're training with these boys week in, week out. That's enough time to implement a system of play. Chelsea's squad is better than ours. Chelsea's players are better than ours. I don't like to use Chelsea as an example. I really don't. Thomas Tuchel's been in there for 2 seconds, and you already see how he's perfected playing free at the back and stuff. So I don't think, you know, I think it's what with Arteta, I think you've got to give or take. I don't think it's illegal to criticize him. You know, no one's without fault, in my opinion. Arteta is still a good coach. I think the new owners should buy Pep and reunite them both for Arsenal. 604 likes. We're moving gravy, boy, people. We're moving gravy. We're doing stuff. It's all gravy right now. I'll give Arteta a midfield. We need 3 and give him 6 months. You know what? I'm vexed with him, innit? Next season, bro, if you carry on with like some of this stuff, by October, December, you're probably gone. And for me, I just want my thing with Arteta is he's not learning from his own mistakes. You know, I don't think it's an inexperienced thing. I don't think he's learning. Arteta, a club legend. Standards are on the floor, bro. Coquelin's more of a club legend than Mikel Arteta, broski. I'm capping still, but no, I don't know if a club legend. No, scroll to the top, scroll back to the live chat, my dude. We're not gonna go over it again. Do you know, I don't think Arteta trusts these players, and I wouldn't trust them either. I do think we should be able to play it free at the back, but I want to see a 4-2-3-1, 4-3-3. I don't think he has good enough players. I don't think he has players that can dictate the tempo of a game and all of these things. But at the same time, his system has overcomplicated things a lot of the time, people. Like, for me, as much as I feel you should, I still back Arteta. Sorry, people. As much as I feel he should be defended, at times you have to adapt to your players. Certain man, like I said on another live stream, when I see all the sort of, when you see what Pep Guardiola does with his team and what Arteta tries to do, that's the university of football. You know, you can't do any of that if you don't understand positioning and doing your own job. We need to go to a primary school. Like I said in another live stream, Arsenal, we need to learn how to read and write before we try and write novels. We're trying to do the madman stuff where we can't do the basics. You do the basics first, everything's up for debate. So I would say that. I still somewhat retain faith in Arteta. I do think he's going to be given another season, but really and truly, just based on the sporting perspective, there's no logical reason to say yes, because you can't absolve him of all blame. Like, he has messed up the Europa League as much as anyone. He has messed up the Premier League as much as anyone. Sometimes he's rotating players for no reasons. There's not really been clarity. Do I think the players are poor? Do I think many a time they've let him down this season? Of course, but you can't blame Arteta for all the problems, but you can't absolve him of no fault. He is the manager. He knew the role he was stepping into. And I just feel this is where it gets a bit weird as an Arsenal fan, because if you praise him, you have an agenda. You criticize him, you have an agenda. No one's above criticism. You criticize the players, you criticize the owner, you criticize everything else, past managers and all sorts. I'm criticized on YouTube. So why can't we criticize the man that runs the club with all the propaganda? Because as much as I love Arteta, I actually do like him and I like the way he speaks. He's provided more questions than answers. There's not really any clarity over what he wants to do, who he likes. I hear what people are saying about no preseason, but it only extends so far because everyone had the same nonsense. It weren't just you know. And also, well, you've had enough time to have a system of play, a real degree of playing, and I can't even praise you for playing out from the back. That's Emre's thing, what Emre introduced, you know. Smith Rowe, did you really want to play him, or was you between a rock and a hard place? Again, there is a lot of luxuries, but he's not faultless. And for me, the biggest thing is learning on the job is not the problem. I mean, being inexperienced is learning on the job. And sometimes he's made one mistake and made the next one. And I feel indirectly, the fact that he knows he's not losing his job, not saying he should or shouldn't be sacked, I think that's harming him, because you don't do certain things. Like, latest example, what you saw in the Europa League semi-finals with trying that false nine. If you were under pressure, and I don't mind some of the things he's done, I don't mind it. I don't mind him trying the false nine. I don't mind a lot of this. It's just their players are not level. So at least for this year, let's just keep it basic. You know, when you have intelligent players, you can do intelligent things, in my opinion. Simeone's not coming, broski. And sometimes Arteta's just overcomplicated things, man. Big up to Deluded, hardest working man on YouTube. Thank you for the long form streams. I appreciate you lot, man. I really do. And obviously it's watch along business in a couple of hours as well, people. Never agreed more. I appreciate that. I think worst manager you've seen is a bit of a tough one. I think that one there is over the top a bit. You know. And I don't think Arteta, a blind man could see Arsenal's problems. And I don't know. I think Arteta, because he's part of it now, he's starting to believe a bit of these players are better than he thinks, in my humble opinion. And on top of that, we all know the players have the wrong problems, man. You know, I think Arteta is going to be a good manager, man. But I don't know if it's going to happen here or not, truthfully. I hope it does, you know. Like I said, as much as I like him and dislike him, the only thing I could only say is the reason I'm backing him. I don't have a logical reason to sit here and tell you why I'm backing him. I'm an honest man. I don't know. Something tells me to stick by him right now. Definitely not, you know, if I'm not saying like if we're sacking him, I'm gonna cry about it, but there's just something that's telling me give my man a chance, regardless of the criticisms I have for him. Something's just telling me give Arteta a chance. But at the same hand, I can't sit here online to you lot and lie to you lot and say there's a reason to condone that. If you think he's gone or should be gone, there's nothing wrong with that. That's one thing I hate about football. You're allowed to say I don't believe in man. If he proves you wrong, I now believe in man. I believe in man. I don't believe in him now. You're allowed to say that. It's like too many people want to say, oh, I told you so. Keep the file says. Certain people want to say, I told you it was never levels, bro. They don't care about the football club then. They just care about being right. They care about satisfying their small egos, where football is a game that's always teaching. Arteta, I mean, not Arteta. Well, Arteta's big homie and Pep Guardiola says that, you know, footballing is a humbling experience. And if you think you know football, you truly are not a student of the game. That's my opinion. You know, the fan base are making it either in or out. They do it all the time, man. You either want a Batman in or out. You either do this or that. You know, it's a madness, really and truly, man. Really and truly. But to be fair with you, I don't think he deserves credit for that. I think he deserves credit, obviously, for playing him and retaining him. But he tried Willian Tent. He did the Lacazette role. He went with a flat midfield three. He did everything not to play Smith Rowe, and not even just Smith Rowe. And again, this is where I get onto the club, because as much as I get onto Arteta for that, you didn't bring, man, a creative number 8 or a number 10 in the summer. Instead, you're doing it in January. You're getting rid of a certain number 10 in January. You're allowing the politics to dictate who Arteta can and can't play. This is why I said there's things you can blame him for and things you can't. There are small variables Arteta can control, and he hasn't controlled them well. Like, for me, he's always talking about the fans being in the stadium. Fans will be on to Kroenke. They'll be on to you. Be on to the players, you know. Rookie at the wrong time. Let's be patient, unfortunately. Love for the super chat, my guy. And there is quality, you know. He has shown. I'd say the things I would like to see him learn is, can you make subs earlier? He can set up a game plan, but when the game plan's kind of going tits up, I think he's a bit slow to react. Sometimes unnecessary rotation and bewildering inclusions and exclusions. Bit of question marks over players. Sometimes questionable man management. Retaining faith in some poor players. But other than that, I like Donny. Like, I do like Arteta. I don't listen. I do want him to get it right, fam. And like you said, bro, 17 losses. They're everyone's fault. You know, the players have made stupid mistakes. The players have done silly stuff. But you can't say none of those defeats Arteta's hasn't had a hand in. We've got to be real. Like, we've got to be real, man. You know, Deluded, you can't talk such sense online, such sense online, such fair sense online. I appreciate that, man. Thank you, DG. The exact way I feel about Arteta too, not in or out. It's not that simple, bro. This is it. Like, and this is where I feel, you know, if you love someone, not to say I love Arteta, but if you love someone, you're allowed to be honest, you know. Why can't we be honest? Why is this? Why can't we just be honest? Like, this is the thing. There's problems. And I think there's some good with Arteta. I think there's some moments where he's bugging out a bit. You know, but it's what it is. One thing that I feel crippled with is I haven't had to doubt if Arteta's wanted to move this club back to where it's been, in the same way with Emery. I look at it, whether you can criticize them or not, whether they've done well or not. Bro, you've got an owner who doesn't care, and you've got these crap players, and they're doing the same thing they did under Emery. Oh, Arteta tells us everything. We've got homework, this and that. We've improved this and that, and then they bottle it. I don't think these players take accountability. I don't think these players take responsibility. I think a lot of these players are cowards. Like, I have more time for Arteta than a lot of these players, but realistically, as on the same topic of that, bro, Arteta knew the role, you know. He knew what he was walking into. He knew that there was no preseason, so there should be more of an urgency. And I'm sorry, but we've gone from August to May now, and we're still talking about no preseason. We should see the building blocks. Like I said, Rome wasn't built in a day, people. But I need to see some bricks and some building work, and I've seen a bit of that. Not enough. Let's be real. That's where Arteta can do better. Let's be real with ourselves. You know, people don't like honesty. That's just how I feel personally. Big up everybody in the live chat as well, folks. Bit harsh. Well, hella toxic, man. Big up DG. Swear when you in Turkish speak, it's like I'm hearing myself speak. Well, you shouldn't always look to want to hear yourself. You know, that's called confirmation bias. When I did my scouting course, that's something that can actually harm you. But love for that, my guy, man. To be fair to you, I do agree with that. The only one that's going to benefit regardless is Arteta, because he has jumped in at the deep end, really and truly. And the club are doubling down on him and all of these things, man. And this is it as well, Groundhog, you know. All of us wanting to succeed, however, the performances speak for itself. And ultimately, when we're winning, it's all the manager's doing great. So we can't sit here and say when we're losing, you know, it's got nothing to do with the manager. It's not making sense, man. I agree, DG. Not convinced, but the players are the worst. Bro, some of these players have failed 3 managers. They failed the great Arsene Wenger. They failed this new Arteta. They failed temporarily Emery. Again, idiots, man. And these players know it, man. Imagine Arteta working with Henry, Bergkamp and Vieira, assuming there's proper roles and there's no grey areas, because you could see how strong opinionated men, they overstep the mark. 100%. 100%, man. Just woke up not too long ago, and DG's always speaking sense and facts. Love for that, my dude. 13 wins in 33 games. That's an unbelievable stat for Arsenal. Exactly, bro. You can't absolve Arteta of all of that, because Arteta has complicated things as well. Borderline favoritism is also another issue of Mikel Arteta, in my opinion. Brother, I agree. I want my team back as well, man. I really want my team back. But I've accepted it's not coming back until the man behind me F's off, man. You know, a part of me wants to see Arteta with new players and he could do bits, but I haven't seen enough to say you get new players, it's going to be wavy. Like I haven't seen enough. I haven't. Obviously, I think better players is going to make a difference just for, you know, better players could actually do things. But at the same time, there's an issue. And like you said, Chase, but there's something in the manager, man. You know, there's something in the manager, man. There's something in the manager. He did win the FA Cup, and you can't fix 10 years of bad decisions. You know, the practices of the club are terrible, man. But we move, man. To be fair, I think if the owner goes and there's significant finances, I think Arsenal become a better opposition for some managers, man, personally. But we'll have to see, man. I think you're overdoing it because if he was the worst manager, he'd be at the bottom of the table. He's not. Hey, let's be real. You could have your criticisms, but we don't need to overdo it, man. We don't need to overdo it. I would like Calvert-Lewin, but again, we don't play to our players' strengths on the best of days. We will not cross the ball for Calvert-Lewin, despite I'd say what 90% of his goals are headers and in the box. So that's another thing I also need to improve at. When we buy players, play to their strengths. Like I said before, it's like we just sign players with a good standout season. We don't look at how they fight into the system, how they thrive and play to their strengths, man. Yeah, man. I covered that in the beginning, man. We're almost at 700 likes. Allegedly, we're moving crazy, people. Big up everyone so far. Where are we at? 684 likes. There's 671 of you tuned in. Let's make a last push. In relation to one last push, people, you know, should we look at what Arteta has said now that we're moving closer into the game? Like I said, people, please make sure you check out the pinned message because it's watch along business after this. I'll drop another link. There you have it. Would you take Tony for a decent price? But yeah, man. What have you said? Disagree that the worst manager is always at the bottom. Chris Wilder was amazing and got screwed over. Facts, my guy, but he's the worst performing manager. Like, he's bottom of the table. Like, his team is bottom of the table. You know, he was amazing. People kind of read how Sheffield United play, and there's a struggle. In the same way, people temporarily clocked Pep Guardiola. They've definitely clocked how Klopp is playing this year. Arsenal have been found out. You know, people have found out Sheffield. I love Leeds. But it wouldn't surprise me if I'm not saying they will struggle in terms of they'll drop down the table, but it wouldn't surprise me if Leeds start finding it tougher because people understand what they're on about. So I don't think Chris Wilder adapted. Obviously, the players are poo at Sheffield, but yeah, man, whatever way you got to take responsibility. He's at the bottom. Like, whoa, like we can't. Let's be fair. Arteta, you can say what you want about Arteta, but he's not the worst in the league. Like, I'm not saying you said that either. Both, my dude, Coop Miners and BISSOUMA, different skill sets, both equally needed, man. Facts, and more facts. We've got super chats galore. I appreciate that. Big up D. There's been a steady decline in quality of transfers for years. We have a weak-minded team that crumble under pressure. Give Arteta time. 100%. Like I said, you give my man better players, I'll think he'll do a bit more. The players need to go, but this is why I need the owner to go, because the owner that cares about Arsenal, he says, yo, what is our philosophy? The signings we're signing, they're not fitting into the DNA. There's no consistency. Let's fix up our scouting network. Let's change the way we're recruiting players. Let's damn right recruit better players mentally. Because I'm not to be, it's nothing to do with Emre. I mean, nothing to do with either Emre or Arteta. And nobody knew it. But if we look at Guendouzi and Torreira for different reasons, could we have, away from their ability, the ability is there, but the mental aspects, was there signs of both of them for different reasons would struggle mentally with playing for Arsenal for whatever reason, and could we have avoided that? Signings don't work out, but sometimes when Arsenal, you have to be able to just get rid of duds or fix up a dud. Sometimes we don't do that when it comes to our poor signings. Apparently we've hit 700 likes. We're moving brazy. I can't lie, this week has been amazing, Arsenal fans. The Villarreal engagement levels, the engagement levels across the last week and a bit has been crazy, people. We're really doing bits. I appreciate the DG Nation. We're at 728 likes. Keep moving that one there up, people. I appreciate that. People saying Arteta's not under pressure are living in a fairyland with cotton candy clouds. I don't think he's under real pressure. I think he realizes I'm going to be here for another year. I do think he puts pressure under himself. I do think there's question marks, but I don't think he's under the suitable pressure. So I don't think that's necessarily right, but I appreciate that. 709 likes. We're moving crazy. Love for the super chat. Cancel culture is hard to overcome. It is. thing is, I do trust Arteta. I don't mind the false nine thing. I think if you've got the better players, the false nine thing can work. But he needs to learn to replicate that. Because looking back, could it have been better to go with Odegaard as the false nine, Smith Rowe in his natural role behind him, and El Nene, who's a better presser? I don't know. I don't think it's as simple as that, but it is where it is, man. It is where it is in that regards, man. Don't think that's true, but fair play. Bro, Emre didn't get the patience, because Emre's got clout on his name. Arteta is a novice in that, man. And that's what I've said, a tradesman's only as, a tradesman can only do the job that you give him the tools for. But on the same hand, a good tradesman gets the job done out with his tools, really and truly. Please stop spamming though, because I will see what you're saying, man. But it is what it is. Bro, we've already covered the article, my guy. Don't shoot the messenger. Why are you typing with capitals? Calm down, broski. What's the excitement? Relax, bro. It's Sunday. It's the Lord's Day. Listen to some Sizzler or satin, or some calm reggae or satin, some Lovers Rock or satin. Clean your yard. Make sure the peas and the rice them is cooking. The chickens they are make sure your Sunday dinner's pattern. Relax, bro. Relax, fam. There's no need for that. Calm it down, lad. But like I was saying, folks, man, let's get into what Arteta is. Like I was saying with Arteta, man. MIKEL Arteta exclusive, boss on strong finish, big summer and rewarding Smith Rowe. Let me scroll the way down. Just want to see what MIKEL Arteta specifically said, folks. As you can see, Sky Sports do love a half a waffle. Here we finally have it. I'm really focused on what we have to do now, finish the season as strongly as possible and try to get into the final, which is going to be key for us. Where we want to get to will depend on a lot of things, how we end the season, where we end up, what ability and prospects we'll have for next season. Everything is a reflection of what's happened now. I wouldn't say now, it's been a reflection of all year. We haven't put consistent runs together. Clean sheets have been improvements were overestimated. It's been dead, really and truly. I'm trying to... Bro, where Sky Sports, stop adding your own things. Think of what Arteta said. He said, I've been really encouraged. I feel really positive about what we're going to do. This is in relation to summer business. And apparently, in relation to loans, he said it was a difficult decision to let him go, but he needed more game time. He has a chance here. That's Joe Willock. Could it be the most important summer in years? Yes, because a lot of things have happened in the last few transfer windows. There are a lot of players in various situations. And this is where them things there are above Arteta. Arteta can't move these players on. It's Edu and those around him. If Maitland-Niles is gone, this is why I've said it before and I say it again. We need to double down on what we're doing. Selling these guys might be the wrong thing in hindsight, but if you're selling Maitland, if you're selling Nelson, if you're getting rid of Lacazette, double down. Don't say you're selling, man, then a community shield happens and then we're keeping, man. Double down, because this is above Arteta now. No, Arteta, let's be real. He says who he can, who he wants and doesn't want. It's down to Edu now. Can you get decent money if we were to sell Maitland-Niles, if we were to sell Guendouzi and the rest of them? Joe Willock's a bit different because we need to look at that one. But if Arteta does top money, how are we reinvesting that? We do know whether we get European football is going to play a part, but because of how volatile Arsenal have been, I need to see an exit plan. If we don't get European football, what players are you signing? Because the one consistency, whether they're world-class, household names or whatever, I need to see confidence, consistency and competence. If you're a defender, can you defend? You're competent. Have you got the confidence? Don't let your heads drop in bad moments. Consistency. There's no point showing me you're a bad boy defender on a Thursday if Sunday comes and you're absolutely shocking. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. He did speak. He spoke on the new Richard Garlick coming. He said we're excited to have him on board, and we should see an uptake in contract. He said we're looking for someone with the right experience, with knowledge of the league, and with contacts to make us better in the team. His expertise is going to be really important. Fact. I'm not going to read over it, but he's praised Smith Rowe. Again, there's not really been much here, really. There's not been much really. This is the key part. He said, I will say there's a long way to go to get where we have to get to. It will depend on what we want to do. We've shown in big moments against big teams that we can beat anyone, but the reality is that we haven't showed that consistency every 3 games. And this is what I said. Arsenal will win these little battles. It's the consistency. Even sometimes where we've won games, like against Chelsea, we've almost borderline effed it up. And that's for these players to fix up. Edu and Stan Kroenke above guys to bring in players that can think. And also for Arteta to stop overestimating how we've turned corners. And I'd say for Arteta's language, it doesn't help. I'm still onto you for saying we've improved. We're thingy. We're what did he say? We've learned our lessons from Olympiacos last year. Did we? Based on Olympiacos this year, Benfica this year, Slavia Prague, first leg on Villarreal. You lot answered that one there for me because you lot know more than me in that regard. But he's right. We have shown that's what I mean. There is some. We've shown we can do stuff. There is a bit more fight and determination. But let's be real. The improvements are overestimated. We're not a better defensive team, and this is where I need people above Arteta to help him, because no matter how much you say we've improved defensively, if you can, how much can you improve defensively with these players? None of them are good with the exception for me, Gabriel. None of them are going to be levels. So you're going to hit a glass ceiling. But he's right, though. We haven't shown it every 3 games. And again, I know Arteta is going to talk about pre-season, and I do sympathize with him. But one hand I will say is Arteta and the whole club knew pre-season was going to be a myth. You know what you're going to get into. Every other club had the same things. Some clubs that have less finances and stuff than ours are our problems. And regardless of what I feel about Kroenke, not excusing it and these players, numerous times you lot have sat here and you lot have listened as well, and you lot have offered your own opinions. We've just lost games because we've done stupid things. It hasn't been down to we've got this player, I haven't got that player. We've just done silly things, man. You know, it's crazy. It's stupid, man. You know, is the title true? Only clicked on the video to hear about that. Broski, scroll the way back or down. But moving forward, we face many challenges. Some we didn't expect, COVID, etc. are true. Some of them completely unprecedented in the outside world. And at this football club, to manage all that is pretty difficult. It's created unsustainability and instability. That's true. He said, people will judge what we do today, but a lot of elements are contributing. I haven't had a normal season yet. Arteta, you knew you didn't. And at the same time, you took over at the end of last year. From last year to the end of pre-season, I'm not saying pre-season should have been spot on. You should have had a base level. I've seen you do 3 at the back, false 9s, even with Willian, crossing the ball unnecessarily, playing Mustafi and all of these guys unnecessarily. Some of the problems haven't been of your undoing, but a lot of it gives the vibe of a man that is standing in the rain with no jacket complaining. You either move out the rain and find shelter, get a jacket, or find an umbrella. You know exactly what you're going into, people. Also, if you know it's going to rain or be rainy, bring your fucking umbrella. So I do agree with a lot of what he said, but a lot of it isn't washing really. And a lot of it, you have to take responsibility, because a lack of pre-season isn't for overcomplicating things like against Villarreal on Thursday. That's nothing. You picked that squad. In fact, unlike Emery, you've had more of a say in the squad than all of these sort of things, and it does bother people. What have we been working on in pre-season? Because when we do show, all season, when we show improvements, they're not long lasting. And he said, yeah, man, he said people will judge what we do. He said he didn't have a normal season. He said without a proper pre-season, bro, you've had long enough to show some building blocks. Like I said, Rome ain't built in a day, but I don't see scaffolding. I don't see plumbing work. That's, on one hand, I agree. On the other hand, Arteta, bro, you got to take some responsibility with the players. We have had some instability. You do need the fans back. And you said you cannot wait for that, bro. I think there's a bit of naivety with that one. Apparently, we really need them to be with the team, to believe in the team, to support them. With them closer, we are much stronger. And that's one thing I like about Arteta. From the moment he's taken the job, he has said we all need to sing from the same hymn sheet, but then we need to see that from everybody involved. He said that's what we asked them. We promised them we'll give them everything we can to fulfill their expectations. Promises are a comfort to a fool. Less talk, show me on the pitch, to give them some joy and some special moments. We'll see, man. We'll see, innit? We'll see. We'll have to see. In that regards, though, folks, we really will. Talk is cheap. I'd rather man not talk and just show me the business. MIKEL Arteta says, give him time. Well, he didn't exactly say that, but that's what is going to be that. So yeah, man, make sure you're all here for the watch along, people. Where are we at in terms of the likes? We're moving brazy. 785 likes, people. Come and do that one up. Can we get 800? We're smashing records. Make sure you're checking out the DG podcast. Check that out, but obviously watch along in 92 minutes, people. Work rate is crazy. Work rate is gazy. What are you lot saying? Let me get in a couple more things, man. 60 more likes, man. Come on. I see 16 out of you being lazy, man. Come on. Hold the berries. A sizzler. Come on. The Capleton. This is why I love you lot. If you know, you know, man. Mate, if you're still back in Arteta, then you really are deluded. Ding, ding, ding. Can I have £1 for that, please, NG? You know, Virgin of the Week award goes to NG. He scores the cheap point poacher. If we had a striker like you right now, we might have scored more goals. What are you saying? You're not one for the glamorous goals, but they all mean the same. Handy has said holding is wet. What you saying? I like holding, but fair play. You're allowed your opinion. Love for the super chat, bro. Bit harsh on holding. Don't think he done that, and he's just chilling, man. 812, 850. We're moving serious, people. We're moving serious. Trust me. And he is. That's some things he needs to answer himself. He needs to answer that himself, man. Aye, man. Party, I love you, but allow the shooting, man. I can't. You're not saying that today's probably the day he scores in it, but allow me, man. How can you trust a process when you see no process? Love the show. Love the show as always, DG. I appreciate that. Record breakers. We're moving gazy, as we've said, man. And I just think you can't absolve Arteta of all faults. Like, you can't just say it's all Kroenke, all the owners, all these things. That is crazy. I wouldn't mind Chambers at centre half, but I don't think it's going to happen anytime soon. Really. I really don't. But who knows, man? It's always subject to change. Where are we at in terms of the likes, people? 834. Hey, we might be able to get a bag still. We might be able to get a bagger. I don't think I'm going to stay long enough for that, but we could try. You know, always spitting facts. I'm not sure about that, but love nonetheless, man. I appreciate that. Kroenke doesn't do tactics. You're right. You're right. And this is where I've got more time for Arteta than Kroenke, clearly. William Scorpion kick incoming. Hope so, my dude. What has Cedric done wrong? You'd have to speak to him. I can't lie. I am starting to feel Chambers should get a chance at centre half ahead of Holding. I am starting to feel that way, man. I think I actually think this squad is best to finish 5th, 6th max on a good day. About where we're at, but at the same time, ifs and buts. But we defo have. Bro, let's be real. The squad has defo been there to at least have more of a fight over top 4, to at least mathematically, realistically be in with a shout. Mathematically, we might be there, but it's not, man. Chambers volley crossing is pretty peng too, not gonna lie. The fact that Chambers is probably the best crosser at all our right backs is a massive L still. You know, it's a massive L. Massive L. And things like, you know, it's Sabal's fault why he got sent off, you know. But at the same time, that's why I need Arteta to read it. It doesn't help him. It's of no help Arteta coming out and saying, yeah, I was going to sub him. Everyone and their nan said Sabas needed to come off. Is it Sabas being stupid? Is it a harsh second yellow? Of course, but things are there to take the chance, you know. And for the club, you know, Tierney might get injured. You let Maitland-Niles go. You let Kolasinac go. You need to, you know, these things happen. As an Arsenal fan, Arsenal board, you have to be a bit pessimistic and expect these things to happen, man. Would you go with Cedric for the rest of the season? Right now, I think it's Callum Chambers is to lose. I would give Cedric some game time, but I'm not wholeheartedly convinced over Chambers' ability to play there over consistently, Maitland-Niles consistently, Bellerin, of course, consistently, and Cedric. This is why, come the end of the summer, I want a new fullback personally, man. Personally, that's just me anyways, man. Enough likes and subs. DG can buy Arsenal, do your part. And then you lot tell me there's no videos and all of these things. There's issues, man. I think that's a bit harsh. Holding's probably one of the best in the air at our club. That's one thing I give him. He seems to win quite a lot, but fair play. Confidence against Newcastle. Bro, how can I have confidence? I'll support the team, but it's down to them to give me something really and truly, man. That's just how I feel, really. Who would you want? Pick up the members. Who would you want if Arteta gets the sack? At this moment in time, I'm just going to shout Sarri or Gasperini, man, because we're not going to be serious in it. So at least bring in a manager where I can see my team do 1,000,000 passes, like, and just play some decent football, man. Like, but probably not them. I think that's harsh. I think you can be interested in fashion and football, but that's a bit harsh. Bro, either one, man. Either one. I don't know Dangote or Daniel personally. Based on, I would say Daniel right now, because it looks like, you know, I've heard Dangote talk, but forgive me if I'm ignorant to it. I haven't seen money put on the table. That's me personally. So we'll have to see, people. 859 likes, people. Love for that. And this is it as well. He has been done by Sterling. That, you see, that's the problem with Holding. Holding's decent in the air, but how many times have you heard me say He's not aware of what's going on his shoulders. If you look at the Southampton game, I'm sure the Aston Villa game, definitely Wolves. He hasn't been the guy who started the mistake, but there's been a poor sequence of play, and you've seen him unable to thingy, man, unable to read his situation, and that's something that's been in Holding's place since Wenger was there. It's down to Holding to eradicate that, but it's down to the gaffers and whatnot. I'd give Henry a shot if Arteta got sacked. Nah, I can't lie. I love Henry, but nah. I'd back him. Obviously, he's my favorite player. He's the best to ever kick the ball in the Prem, but nah. I can't let my love for the player look at the guy sort of thing, if that makes sense. Usually I watch from the shadows, but big up you, DG. I appreciate that, my guy, man. I really appreciate all of you lot, man. I really appreciate the support you lot give me, man. It really means a lot. Where are we at in terms of the likes? 806.7. Great, man. Xavi, you know, wouldn't mind Xavi still. No, I'm gassing still. You know, it'd be all right. So Joe Willock can't play today, so it doesn't mean anything. I don't know who said not give Gabriel time, but we would, man. Will Europa League have a bearing on whether the Kroenke sell or not? I don't think so, you know. I really don't think so. Hopefully they sell regardless, man. I think Gabriel, but fair play. Henry should come back in some capacity, but not as a coach. No previous players at my club, just more heartbreak incoming. Well, if they're ex-players and they're good enough to do it, then why not? But I just can't let my love get there, man. If Willock can play now, the rules have changed, fair play, but I don't think Willock is playing today. But let him do his thing, man. It would be a kick in the teeth if he did play. Let me actually, because someone verified that. Because I'm pretty sure he won't be playing today. But I want to be wrong, man. Apparently, we'll make a decision over Joe Willock in the summer. But yeah, I don't think Joe Willock is playing. I'm pretty sure he can't play. Charles, he can't play. Where's this rule change? Some bug rules. Man said, Roy Keane, you're on banter. You're on banter. Banter. Subscribe if you haven't, edging closer to 35K. Yeah, it's crazy. I keep saying 33K, you know, so that tells you everything. We're moving slightly up in the world, man. You won't be playing, bro. Let's get 1,000 likes, 100%. Gasperini, 100, man. DG, what if new owners are similar to Roman and sack if you don't challenge for the title? Well, I don't think any owner is going to come in and expect a title challenge straight away, but, you know, it'd be nice if people are sacked as a repercussion of not doing the job. You know, that would be it, man. Let him stay. I wouldn't mind it. Joe's got a question to ask, you know. Does he want to stay or not? If not, we make our peas, man. No, yeah, check the source, man. I wouldn't mind Lehman because he's doing an off-field role right now. I wouldn't mind Bergkamp. I'd actually like Bergkamp to have a little role, working him or Henry, working with the strikers and that. Hey, Broads TV, big up yourself, my guy. I need to collab with you and get you on here very shortly, man. Allegri all the way. Wouldn't mind Allegri, but again, man ain't gonna come here and do nonsense, you know. You know, he's not gonna be on it. They just bust out him, Conte, all these guys. When they're asking Stan for peas and he's on the idiot thing, they're not gonna be on it. They're gonna say, "Fuck you, lot." Then I'm busting out. Willock's been a flop in my opinion. Harsh. Don't think that's correct, but you're allowed your opinion. Come on, my guy. Let me know your schedule. We'll pattern up something, man. Do you believe we will get to the final and beat United? Well, blind optimism. I hope so, innit? There's nothing else I can say, innit? We have to. If you want to be in Europe, you got to do your thing, innit? Like, it's as simple as that. Bro. You have to, man. We are missing our soul, bro. Like Wenger said the other day, bro. We left our soul at Highbury, people. I wouldn't mind Rafa Benitez because he's certified and, you know, he's worked under poor conditions at Newcastle. So if he can stabilize, look at me making words up, stabilize the ship and then do what we need to do, why not? And that's what, you know, if they knew they wanted to bring in Arteta, they should have ensured when Emre bust out, you have all the conditions. Because I'm not using this to excuse Arteta, but if you have a novice manager, as much as I criticize him, You haven't given him the best conditions. You ain't surrounded him with experience in terms of fellow coaches and people above him, because to help him from him making mistakes. There's also an element of stuff he doesn't know. They haven't helped him along many things. So we're always going to be in issues in that regards. There is no chemistry in this, man. Big up yourself, Chris. Bro, Rafa certified, didn't it? But I just think, regardless of who, I think we need to just get the owner out, bro, because we're going to be here talking about managers on day in, day out, and they're going to, like Emre, Arteta, they're going to come in. There's going to be it's happy times. They're moving mad. They're doing stuff. But sooner or later, as the months go on, the players stop these PR think pieces about, we know what we need to do now, and we jump off a cliff, really. A new owner might change that, man. If he doesn't know his first 11, then Arteta is in problems, man. Bro, call it on the Daily Mail, but you're entitled to believe that. You know, we can all go on Google. Beanie, you woke up upset, man. You know, I hope your wife didn't cheat on you again, man. I know she said she wouldn't do it again. I know she did, man. But promises are comfort to a fool, man. I hope you can find love in your heart, because it's not there, man. It's really not there. It's really not there. Appreciate you. Big up yourself, Paul. Love you, bro. Love you lot too, obviously. Come on. Come on. Do you think we can get BISSOUMA in the summer? Put the money on the table. You can have whatever you want. You know, it's as simple as that. I don't know what Daniel Ek is on until he takes over the club, if he takes over the club, my bro, because he can promises our comfort to a fool. As much as I do believe him in that he's an Arsenal fan, he wants to do this and that. I don't know you from Adam. I don't know you from nowhere. And in business, everybody says anything. Until you get the role, we'll see what go on for this thing. You know, big up the Trinidad and Tobago ones. I appreciate you lot. They would need to support Rafa. For me, you said DG, you see Willock as a 10 or an 8. He would only play 10 for me if I want him to do that pressing stuff. He's an 8 every day of the week. I've always thought he's an 8. And for me, you'd play as an 8, personally. Bro, it's not my fault. I'm not mocking it. It's facts. It's facts. People come here and start talking nonsense. Like, it's not my fault. I keep telling wives, sisters, baby mamas, grandmas, you know, might even be couple man's boyfriends. I don't swing that way, you know, peace and love. Everyone can do what they want, but couple man's boyfriends, like I said, you lot do your thing. If you're going to take me in and you know your partner doesn't like, man, go in the kitchen, find some earpods, because they come and do this. It's not my fault. Like, it's not my fault. It really isn't, man. It really isn't. Even if even if we beat United, we'll still lose. I mean, even if we beat Villarreal, we'll still lose the final against United. Aye, man, bit of faith, man, bit of faith. Bro, they're killing themselves. I don't know what there is, man. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is, bro. I was always if you're Caribbean, you always told promises are comfort to a fool, man. But any opportunity, because listen, it's a rattling thing. It's not my fault. I'm not trying to mock anyone. It's genuinely not my fault. I'm here talking with the members and you lot listening and all these things. And man are coming here vex. And half of these people, they're probably the same ones. Oh, DG, let me get a picture. Let me get a picture. Sure thing. You know, it's all right, though. It's all love, though, man. I don't mind it. You know, it's an Arsene Wenger thing. Arsene Wenger had to take a lot of the blame. I don't mind it. You lot do what you need to do with it. You lot do what you need to do, man. Nah, it's when, you know what, it's when man come up with you with so much vim, so much anger. It's like, bro, what I did to you? Your mom must like me, bro, because what else is there? Like, be confident in yourself. Think about yourself, man. Like, if you know, make them feel loved, then, you know, they won't be looking at DG. You know, I ain't even got a top on under this hoodie, so you don't want man to flex the guns and that. Man's back in the gym and that, you know the thing. So calm it down. But on that note, though, I'm going to get out of here, people, because I'm going to be back in just over an hour. I want to grab something to eat. All of those sort of things. I need to hit up Tesco's very quickly, grab some juices and that for this watch along. Please make sure you're all there. Information is there and whatnot. Let me share the screen for you guys. There again. So yeah, I'm gonna catch you lot in a bit, people. Literally just under an hour. I got a couple life admin things to do. You know, is what it is. Like Broads has said, bro, we got the source man here for a reason, bro. Love for that. I respect you and everyone else who's been locked in, man. I appreciate you guys, man. But I'm gonna have to love and leave you for now. Where are we at in terms of likes? We've had a big effort today, people. 918 likes, madness. Hopefully that grabs to 1,000, man. This is ridiculous. I appreciate that, man. Everyone be back, like Raz has said. Yeah, I'm gonna have to love and leave you lot, man, because I know the work rate is crazy, but yeah, man. See you lot in just an hour, under an hour. On that note, like I said, peace out, people, man. You know, the Stan Kroenke thing, we'll see what happens. We've covered ARTETA, we've done the rest. I'll catch you lot in a bit. If you're not going to be at the live watch along, make sure you're there at the live reaction. You know, content never stops. People, DG.